Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then hi, my name is Erica, and today I am going to be talking a bit about some of the discourse surrounding the Astroworld tragedy. So I'm sure most people watching this video have heard of what happened at the Astroworld festival. That was like a Travis Scott concert, and there were a few other singers at the concert, but I'm not really so much talking about that, but more so about the discourse surrounding it and why I am so disturbed by this discourse, because I think a lot of people have tried to build their platform and their message on this tragedy. And now I know it probably seems hypocritical because here I am talking about this and posting this on YouTube. So I understand to a certain degree I am doing the same thing, but I just feel like people that use this to spread their message is kind of disturbing and disrespectful to the people who unfortunately lost their lives due to what I perceive to be negligence and greed and poor planning and just not listening to people and what's best. So, two of the creators that I've really seen talk about this, but I'm sure a ton more, a lot more people have also been probably spreading this message. But two of the content creators that I've seen are, well, Paul and Morgan, which I'm counting as one because I'm counting their channel as like one channel, and also Brittany Dawn, the fitness influencer turned evangelical Christian influencer. But so Paul and Morgan and Brittany Dawn are both like evangelical Christian influencers. So they're taking this opportunity to talk about Satanism and how the Travis Scott concert was demonic and how there were a lot of demonic symbols at the concert, and how I'm gonna share clips of Paul and Morgan's video, and also some of I think it was Brittany Dawn either spoke about this on Instagram or on TikTok. I don't remember which, but when I'm editing it, I'll try to put in clips. But so, what Paul and Morgan were saying in their video was, well, what do you expect when you go to a concert with demonic symbols? And I'm like, wait a second. So are we really going to blame the victims here and say, well, what did they expect going to a Travis Scott concert? Because I don't know about you, but when I go to a concert, I'm not expecting to die. And I'm certainly not expecting to be trampled to death. That is a terrible way to die. That is one of the scariest things in my opinion. Just thinking about it, I don't even like thinking about it just because it's terrifying and sad, and just the whole situation is just tragic. But the thing is this isn't about Satan and God. This is about people's negligence and greed and poor planning. It's about people ignoring when the ambulance was coming and when people were screaming for help. People ignored those people. And now I'm not sure, I don't know if Travis Scott saw what was going on, because, to be honest, if you've ever performed on a stage before, you know that when you're on a stage, you can't really see what's going on in the audience because you have bright lights on you, and it's just a lot going on. So I don't know if Travis Scott himself could see what was going on, and I'm not giving him excuses, because I do think he is responsible for a lot of what happened because of poor planning. But I don't know if he saw what was actually going on. But there were other people. I'm sure there was security on duty and stuff like that. And I'm sure people were trying to help people. But the thing is more people were allowed into the concert than the concert could accommodate safely. So the concert shouldn't have been that big, because they couldn't accommodate that many people, if you know what I mean. And also with certain types of concerts, especially when it's a big performer like someone like Travis Scott or Drake or really just anybody with a big name. This could happen at any concert. It could happen at a Justin Bieber concert. It can happen at a Taylor Swift concert. It's not something that's just something that goes on at rap concerts, but people get so excited that they're jumping and they're trying to get closer to the stage, and that poses a danger no matter what. And I mean, I'm sure Travis Scott and his entire team knew that with him and someone like Drake, and I think even SZA performed there, I'm sure they knew that the crowd was going to get a bit out of hand, and yet they didn't make provisions for if that were to happen. And so that was how that tragedy happened, in my opinion. Of course, I wasn't there, and I wasn't a part of the planning of this, so I don't know 100%, but from what I've read and from the footage I've seen of what went on, it just seems like things got out of hand, and that people weren't prepared, and they cared more about money than they did about people. And to be fair, that was a point that I believe Morgan made from Paul and Morgan. But then Morgan also went on to say, but what did these people expect? But I'm like, they didn't expect for this to happen. Nobody goes to a concert thinking this is going to happen, because when I think of concerts, I think of something that's pretty controlled. Even when there are concerts with mosh pits and stuff like that, I'm going thinking there's going to be security there, and there's going to be enough security so that if something goes on like that, hopefully they can get somebody out of that situation quickly and get them the help that they need. But in this case, the crowd was just too big and it just got too crazy. So unfortunately, people died because they weren't able to get the help that they needed as quickly as possible. But for you to blame this on Satanism and make this about trying to convert people to your religion and try to be like, see, this is why you don't do things like that. That is shameful. I'm not a religious person. So people might be like, oh, I don't care what you're saying, Erica. And that's fine if you feel that way. But the thing is you can be religious without being an asshole, without exploiting a tragedy for your own gain. I don't know, like,
hell is a real place. It's not something that you dress up for as Halloween or just dabble with on occasion. Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So many people in our society believe in zodiac signs and follow them and follow astrology, believing that these energies have such an impact on your life. So then why are more people not waking up to see the demonic activity and satanic symbolism in front of them in the music industry? Make it make sense for me. One of my favorite scriptures, Ephesians 5:11 says, take no part in unfruitful works, but instead expose them.
And they're trying to like analyze all of the symbolism in it and be like, oh, this was demonic, this represents Satan. And it's like, here's the thing. First of all, any type of art can have meanings that may not mean that, but they may be making a social commentary on like Satan and like greed, and I don't know if that's the case here, but I'm saying this to say that you can't just look at something and be like, oh yeah, that represents Satan, so that means Travis Scott is worshiping Satan. Like, things aren't that cut and dry in real life, first of all, because like art can mean a ton of different things. Like, and they were even going to say like Katy Perry was demonic, and now I'm not a fan of Katy Perry. I actually have a video where
these people, most of them that were there, had listened to his stuff prior, and are you guys just that deceived yourselves? I mean, I guess the spirit of the world has blinded their eyes to see, but like, you guys are subjecting yourself to that, to a Drake concert, a Lil Wayne, even like a Katy Perry, like these people that truly are not ashamed of engaging in these occultic things.
Yeah, what the heck are you doing?
I'm talking to I'm talking to Christians here. The lost, you know, they got a lot to figure out, and I pray that they are.
Talked about some of the things that bother me about some of the way she's talked about mental health, but this video is not about that. But I don't think Katy Perry is demonic. I don't think she's coming down to like recruit people to like worship Satan. Like, that's silly. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just silly. And this event is not silly. So it's like, why are you trying to make this about your own agenda? Like, it's okay to believe in God. It's okay to be Christian. But you don't have to twist every situation and every scenario in order to kind of recruit people to believe what you believe and try to twist things to fit your own narrative. Like, that is where I think a lot of these, especially these evangelical Christians that have kind of very conservative and very extreme beliefs, that's where I think a lot of them go wrong, because it's like, you're allowed to believe in this without constantly trying to turn everybody else and to be like, you need to be with me or else you're not gonna be saved. Like, to me, that's, first of all, that's, I don't know, it's like, live and let live. And it's just like, people died. Like, have some respect. You don't need to recruit people to your religion just because. And I think the death toll is up to 10 right now, at least last time I checked. And, like, you don't need to make everything about your religion and everything about, like, see, this is why you should be following God and following Christ. I don't know, and maybe other people feel differently, and that's fine. I don't expect everybody to agree with me, but this was just my thoughts on this entire situation, and just more so how it's being talked about by some of these Christian influencers. And to be fair, it's not all Christians, and I know that. And I know that people like Paul and Morgan and Brittany, Dawn, and Girl Defined, and the Transformed Wife, and Mrs. Midwest, and all of those people, they give regular Christians a bad name by acting the way they do, and by being as disrespectful and just nasty as they are. Because ultimately, I think the way they talked about this incident was disgusting, because people died, and you're over here saying, oh, well, what did they expect?
What should you expect at a Travis Scott concert?
Right. To not like I don't know, it's just like, what do you expect is gonna happen going to a Travis Scott concert? Yeah. Obviously the other things, the needle spiking, whatever, and just chaos that broke out, in my opinion, was just horrible planning of the concert. I think it was Live Nation. Actually,
who the hell says that? Well, I mean, Paul and Morgan said that, so that's who the hell said that. I don't know. This whole situation has me infuriated. I think that's all I had to say for this video. It was a bit of a ranty video, and thank you for watching. If you learned something, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you have not already and you are interested in seeing more of my content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.